All the medals have now been handed out at the World Swimming Championships 2025 in Singapore. But what were the best races of the week? Was it Katie Ledecky in the 800 meters freestyle, Léon Marchand in the 200 meters IM, or was it one of Summer McIntosh's many, many swims? We're going to break down our top 10 swims of the week and rank them in order as well. So let's jump straight in. Hello everyone and welcome back to another little bonus episode of the Propulsion Swimming Podcast. We're straight off the back of World Championships, and you know what, me and Dan thought we can't not keep talking about the racing that's just happened out in Singapore. There were so many amazing races to go through, and we're going to give our top 10 swims of the week, and we're actually going to put them in order. We're going to put our name to a 1 to 10.
Yeah, normally we'd have a debate on the podcast right now, but actually it took, no joke, about half an hour to come up with this list because we were like, no, that one should be there, no, that one should be there. But I think we were quite set on our top three, and then we had a bit of a jostle after that one, I think.
I'm really happy with our four.
Yeah.
Like we say top three. The top three, like the order of which ones to go in was the debate, but our fourth one,
I really like
get to this point in the podcast, I think it's a sneaker.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think people will think of that event, actually, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Okay, now, before we dive into our top 10, I'm going to give some honourable mentions. And first of all, say this is individual swims. So individual swims, we didn't consider relays because copping out, we couldn't fit them into 10. Let's be honest with you. There were 10 individual swims that we wanted to talk about, so we ditched the relays. There were some amazing relays at this meet.
I mean, can you imagine actually taking out one of these races to put in? Because the relays would have to be there, like the women's 4x1 medley, that would have to be in there, massive world record. I really enjoyed the men's 4x1 medley relay, that would be in there. But to take one of these races out would be nigh on and we didn't do it. So yes, cop-out is probably the right thing to say.
Yeah, absolutely cop-out, cop-out. And our honourable mentions as well, these are ones that somehow have missed the list. So... You can already fire the shots in the comment section below when you hear this list. Lucas Martins and Sam Short in the 400 meters freestyle is an honourable mention, purely because here in the UK there was actually a bit of problems with the stream, so we couldn't watch it live, and the only highlights I saw were the last 50 meters. I'm sure this. I've actually read the reports, everything about this. This sounded like an absolute belter of a race, but Eurovision Sport killed this one for me. I couldn't watch it. I was really hyped for watching this race. It doesn't make the list. Jawadi in the 1500 meters freestyle. 1500 meters swimming at any world championships right now is a must-see race, and Jawadi doing the double and with a really close race against Sven Schwartz in this one. Honourable mention, doesn't quite make the cut either. Kaylee McEwen, 200 meters backstroke, very close to a world record. How that's not on here,
I know.
I'm not sure about that one. That's quite good. Hubert Koss, 200 meters backstroke, again, like a ridiculously fast 1:53 low for a 1 second PB for the Olympic champion. Not on the list. Luca Orlando's 1:51 200 meters butterfly as well. Maybe that one should be on the... Like, all of these should really be on a list. And if you're ranking your own list in the comment section, give them some consideration. Like, try and leave the ones that we've got off to put these in, because it's really hard. And then Léon Marchand in the 400 meters individual medley. A 4:04 is a ridiculous time, but Léon Marchand standards... Oh, it's not even Léon Marchand standards. We were just expecting absolute fireworks, and it didn't come.
Yeah, maybe Marchand's 400 IM or Kaylee's actually 200 backstroke are probably the biggest eyebrow raisers. Like, how is that not in the top 10? But we'll go through our top 10 and we'll give reasons why they're in our list. But if you do disagree, please try and rate your top 10 in the comments, because it is harder than you think.
It's really hard. We're going to kick things off then. Speaking of Kaylee McEwen, the women's 100 meters backstroke. This never disappoints. Whenever there's a Kaylee McEwen, Regan Smith head-to-head at a World Championships, essentially we're never disappointed. And I always circle this on the program. I think this is one of the best rivalries in world swimming. And it's gone, in my opinion, slightly on the quiet front Kaylee McEwen set a new personal best in the 100 meters backstroke to beat Regan Smith and was within touching distance of the world record, winning in a 57.16. But it's more than just how fast Kaylee went. It was the battle between her and Regan Smith, the way that they are constantly going up against each other, and it just never lets down whatsoever.
No, they bring out the best of each other, definitely. And as much as
Regan Smith may not think that.
No, but still, she went a 57.3. It's just that she's racing Kaylee McEwen, who is just an absolute beast at backstroke. She came away, Regan, with 4 silvers, eventually got her gold in that medley relay at the end. So I suppose reprieval at the end, I guess. But in terms of this race, Kaylee McEwen had to go a PB to secure gold, oceanic record, all the rest of it, championship record, just touching us off the world record. So arguably, the 200 backstroke is roughly about the same distance off the world record. The only reason why it pips the 200 backstroke is because of the showdown between these two. And like you say, it never disappoints. I circle it thinking the world record's going to go every time these two race each other. And it nearly did again.
Next up on our list, number 9, we're going to stick with the backstroke events. And it's a men's 100 meters backstroke, a podium sub 52 seconds. And for me, one of the swimmers of the meet, Peter Coetzee, gets gold in this one, backing up his World University Games in the second fastest swim of all time until relays happened later on in the meet.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. He is definitely going to be one of the swimmers of the meet, of which I think we'll do another podcast of our top 10 swimmers. He will be in that list for sure. He was hitting PBs, African records for fun in all of the backstroke events. But this one particularly was one of the deepest fields I think I've ever seen in a 100 meters backstroke. And then it ended up performing in terms of being the fastest as well. Like you say, 3 swimmers sub 52. There's a national record for the French swimmer, Thomas Checon, coming back like an absolute animal in that final 50. And then Peter Coetzee doing enough to just by 500ths of a second get the better of Checon. Like the whole podium was split by 7 100ths. It was a blanket finish. Honestly, one of the best races of this meet, but only ranks number 9, can you believe? Number 9.
Yeah, men's backstroke is in a bit of a purple patch. And maybe we're slightly biased because we've got like British representation. Obviously, this is a personal like preference list. Like,
yes.
Everyone's going to have their own opinions, but we've got a Brit within that race, so it kind of makes it a little bit more exciting for us when we're watching.
Yes, true.
But men's backstroke as a whole is in a massive purple patch. And what it took to make this final, let alone make the podium itself, for me, it has to be up on our list.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said that the Checon world record is nigh on perfection, but these guys are getting seriously close. Like the 3 swimmers that have hit the podium in this race. And you had Lefintsev as well in the relays also going sub 52. So you've got a whole bunch of swimmers that are capable and doing sub 52 seconds. So surely the world record is only a matter of time at this rate if they can keep pushing each other on. It's a fascinating purple patch we're going through right now.
Men's 50 meters freestyle takes up our 8th place on this list. A fascinating battle in this one between Cam McAvoy and Britain's Ben Proud. And Ben had one of the most horrendous lead-ups going into this race. We heard him speak to Nick Hope on poolside as Nick was working for World Aquatics, and it sounded like the bug got him out there, and he still swam a 21.2. Yes, which I cannot believe is not good enough for gold in the 50 meters freestyle. But Cam McAvoy goes to 21.1. Yeah. He just keeps on getting better. He's gone faster than he went in Paris. He's improved his first 15 meters. He did get beaten by Ben to 15, but that's not what matters at the end of the day. This was an incredibly good race and just doesn't disappoint. And it was made, maybe for me and you, Dan, when you dads over the past few years, the fact that Cam has just become a dad, it kind of hits a bit differently.
3 weeks ago, like very recently. Almost lucky to even be out there in Singapore because I suppose Australia.
I don't think we would have been granted that race.
I was about to say Singapore is relatively close to Australia, but I don't know if it is. It's still like a good 8-hour flight.
Time zone wise, it's similar.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, 21-1 after dealing with, I imagine, no sleep and the excitement of having a newborn in the house for the first time. Yeah, he was fantastic. Ben, like you said, was amazing for the 15. Did exactly what he needed to do. But you're just dealing with Cam's swim speeds. That middle section of the race, in fact, after the 25 meters and then finishing the race, is just awesome. so strong, barely any rotation in the hips, and the power he has in each pull is quite sensational. Yeah, I think he's a worthy position in our top 10, and I just wonder how much quicker he can go, because it looks like most of his race is nigh on perfection, but he's getting quicker every time.
Now, I'll throw this into the question of how much quicker he can go. Imagine if Ben Proud wasn't ill for the days leading up into this race. He's gone to 21.2 and was sick for a while heading in. That's what I'm excited by. I think Ben he's within touch and distance of taking down Cam.
Yeah, I think
which
so
will
as well.
make this even more exciting over the next few years, because neither of them are going anywhere. They've both bounced off each other in reality with how they're training, how they're racing, how they're improving every single time. And there's obviously Jack Alexi, who went a 21.2 to feet in a relay. There's some exciting swims ahead. But yeah, this battle for me, seeing Cam McAvoy get faster than did in Paris, had to be here.
Yep.
Number 7, men's 100 meters butterfly. Maxime Grosset and No Ponty go sub 50 for the first time, and Maxime Grosset does the double. And this was a stunning race. I thought he had lost it with 5 to go. The glide, the way the field were coming back on him, he really did take this out like an absolute bullet.
He did. We were expecting fireworks, and fireworks happens. Like, very similar to the men's 100 backstroke, where the depth in this race is absolutely insane. Anyone in that field could have won. And we were kind of half expecting, actually, that the whole podium was going to go sub 50. Nearly the top 4 did. I think Leandro came 4th in a 50.09. So it was very, very close to having 4 swimmers sub 50, which is insane. And with his time going at 49.6 makes him the second fastest swimmer, and with that a European record. Only Dressel has gone quicker. Ponty was very close. Like you say, he went out hard, Grosset, but all 3 of the names I've just said were coming back at him. And maybe if the pool was another 10 meters longer, maybe they would have caught him, especially Ponty being that close. But yeah, Grosset is he's an absolute animal. I think we said every time we reviewed each day that we are fans of his stroke, because it's very efficient, very powerful, right? A strong pull from the lats through to the kick. Amazing. And yeah, he did amazing in the relay, in the medley relay as well, going 49.2, I believe it was. So yeah, he is. He might even be in our top 10 list for swimmers of the meet as well.
Next up, and this is where really the big hitters of our list come in. The men's 100 meters freestyle, David Popovic going a 46.5 seconds to really rattle a world record mark that off the back of Paris everyone thought was unthinkable. Everyone thought, wow, that's not going to get touched anytime soon. But Popovic swam close to the perfect race. I know he's come back very slightly quicker in the past. He's gone sub 24 seconds for the final 50. And in this, he was like 24.0. Even so, I think maybe this is not the crowning moment for Popovic, but it's almost the moment that kicks him on past everything, all the noise, every question. He's well past that now.
Yeah, I think, especially when he won gold in the 200 free in Paris, I think that was a real pressure reliever, if you like, because he had all this pressure when he was a 16-year-old, like he's the next best thing, of which he clearly is. He is the next best thing, but dealing with that pressure and actually performing on the big stage is very difficult. And once he hit that and nailed it, won his gold medal in Paris, I think he even said that he's kind of changed mentality and sort of putting the blinkers on and just concentrating on himself and having fun with it. And because of that, he's hitting these ridiculous times, and like you say, very close to hitting the world record, and to the point where I'd love to see these guys race now, because of course Jack Alexi, who then throws down a 45.9 in a relay split as well. Suddenly you throw those 3 names in the hat and you think, wow, you've got a proper final. Kyle Chalmers, like it's a real good event suddenly. And times that I'm still struggling to believe. It's unfathomable. It's so quick what they're doing at the moment.
You say you want to throw those guys back in the water again to watch it, like all over again, because all of them were there other than Panzanla, who just didn't have the games that I think many expected off the back of Paris. But the head-to-head of Popovic, Jack Alexi, Carl Chalmers, it really didn't disappoint. And the fact that we're already talking about, well, look what they've done the rest of the meet. Oh my God, can they please get back in the water? Can we see this race all over again? Deservedly in our top 10 list. I kind of, maybe the only thing that could have pushed this a little bit higher, Kyle Chalmers going 46 point for the first time. I would love to see that happen. He's due it, and he's swimming phenomenally well right now.
Well, his tactic has always been to come back strong, but he's now going out stronger and still coming back quite strong. So something has changed in his training. It's working for him right now. He's also a new dad very recently, or going to be, I should say. So maybe there'll be an extra bit of motivation when his child is born, which would be exciting to see that as well. But yeah, Popovich is on fire at the moment. I was watching him just thinking, is anyone going to beat this guy? I've got no idea, because the back-end speed is just one of a kind. No one's coming back that quickly.
That's the thing. He swam away from Chalmers.
Yes, I know. I've never seen that before. No one has ever.
So.
Well, I'm sure based on splits you've seen that, but no one's actually raced Chalmers and done quicker in the same race. Yeah. Amazing stuff.
Number 5 on this list, we're sticking with the Romanian, the men's 200 meters freestyle. This one, for me, goes ahead of the 100 meters freestyle because equally impressive time, not as close to the world record, but the head-to-head with Luke Hobson. Both guys going sub 144, for me, is why it goes above the 100 meters free. I think there might be some people that disagree with that, but here in the UK, everyone should know, the 2 free is the blue ribbon event over here. It is the event, hence our 4x2 success. So all eyes were on that race for us, and I don't know, you get a longer battle than you do over the 100, and the battle for this one just, again, like, it lived up to the hype. Both of these guys were going into this meet on 143s, and we've seen two 143s in a race together. That's rare.
I just like the fact that it's 2 different tactics fighting against each other. So you have your Hobson, who takes it out strong and trying to hold on, and then you have Popovich, who is steady or easy speed for the first half of the race and then comes back like an absolute animal. And it's just a fight to see which tactic prevails. On this occasion it was Popovich, but I can imagine Luke Hobson was only going to get quicker and quicker. And if he can continue doing 116 to 150, sooner or later he's going to get strong enough to come back and compete with Popovich, which will be really exciting. As much as time goes, you might have to say like the time in 100 is arguably better, like you say, because it's closer to the world record.
Yeah.
But because of the actual race itself, that's probably why we've ranked it a little bit higher. But if we could have a joint 5th, it probably would be, if I'm honest. But,
just stick both of Popovich's swims.
Pretty much together, yeah.
Which means the next swims on this list are going to have to have swam better than David Popovich did at this meet, which is really, really going some, because he was definitely up there in, I think, our top 3 swimmers of the meet. We've not recorded that podcast yet. We are going to get to it kind of straight after this, and we'll upload it later on in the coming days, weeks after the World Championships. So, the swims that beat this, and number 4, we teased it in the intro to this podcast. This one, I think, is an under the radar, sneaky, exceptional swim. How many people are going to guess this listening, Dan? Not many?
I'm going to go with 0. Honestly, I think the top 3, after all of this, I think the top 3 is quite clear. And then the 4th one, it's a real spanner in the works.
Women's 200 meters breaststroke. Kate Douglas with a 2:18.5. I struggle to describe this swim because it was nigh on perfection how she raced it.
I love the idea of swimmers really attacking the race from the get-go. And she's been clearly working on front-end speed, which is why you see in her relay at the very end of the meet, she went a 64 and then performed really well in the 100 individually. She's getting quicker at the front end, and obviously she's pretty well known for her back-end speed, hence the pedigree in the 200 breaststroke. But I think in her head, she's racing this world record holder in Chukhanova, who is known for her back-end speed, which is the reason why she has the world record standing at 2:17, which is mental. So Douglas had the tactic of attacking her, if you like, attacking the race, get as far ahead as you can, make the gap as big as possible, and then it'll be too big to close. And she did. She built that gap and actually pulled away on the third 50, which I was not expecting. I thought she would actually sort of start to fade, or not fade, but Chukhanova would start to close the gap. But Douglas pulled away, and then ultimately Chukhanova did catch up a little bit on the final 50. But the tactics were masterful from Douglas. The underwater phase is exceptional. It really was an exceptional race.
Do you know why this is so high on? I don't know. We both I think we both agreed on this one, putting this one quite high on our list. This is high on my list, and I don't know if many people will have read into this too much, but the difference between Kate Douglas from first to third in this event, I know third place swims are kind of out of your control and everything like that, but the comparison of Kate Douglas from first to third is 5 seconds, okay? And most people, I think, the most dominant 200 swim, which is still to come on our list, will be Summer McIntosh in the 200 meters butterfly. The difference from first to third there is just over 4 seconds. So Kate Douglas has beaten third by a bigger distance than Summer McIntosh in the 200 meters butterfly. I think that's how impressive this swim is. It's an incredibly good time.
With that logic, you could probably say Kelly McEwen is probably... Well, no, Claire Kazan was pretty close.
It was only...
Yeah.
It was 2.7 seconds.
Yeah, I stand corrected. Yeah, all right, fine, fair enough. Honestly, it really was such a good swim. And it's kind of... I don't know if I expected it, if I'm honest, and that's maybe why it's so high, because I just didn't think she'd be able to do that or do that. I thought she would have taken it steady on the first 100 and just rely on her back and speed and try and do that.
Like recently.
But, well, that's just it. She's clearly been doing it in training, and then to see what she's been doing in training in a race situation is brilliant to see, and it's paid off for her. Come away with a brilliant gold medal, and maybe she's got the world record in sight now all of a sudden, which I thought 2:17 is miles away from everyone. She's within a second, I think. It's 2:17 something, so she's getting closer.
Yep. Number 3 on this list then, I've just talked about it. Summer McIntosh in the women's 200 meters butterfly. Anyone who goes to 201 point, albeit 99 in 200 meters butterfly, you're doing something incredibly special. The way she swims 200 butterfly for me is as if she is doing like a 200 free warm-up. Like, there's no fatigue, there's no fading, there's no change in the stroke dynamic whatsoever. She's constantly high in the water, and you expect with how fast she takes it out to 150 that there is going to be some fading, there is going to be some fatigue, but she never ties up. Like, even when we watched the great Christoph Milak swim his 200 meters butterfly and he attacked the first 150, it was a slog to get to the wall, and his time was still ridiculously good, super impressive, 150s low. Summer, there's none of that, which makes this swim so good for me. Like, maybe there's another gear that she can go, and she's like, we saw the reaction afterwards of the language that was clearly visible. But how can this not be a top 3 swim? And arguably it could be higher if there weren't 2 incredible performances elsewhere.
Yeah, I imagine there'll be some Canadian fans that will put this one maybe 1 higher into second. I think first is kind of set potentially. But yeah, this has to be top 3. A 2:01.9 is insane, and I assume she does fatigue. Everyone fatigues at the end of 200 fly. That's the thing. It doesn't look like it. The body position and the technique, the form stays together, and it doesn't look like it changes. The stroke rate looks exactly the same. She just stays so constant throughout the whole 200 fly. It's quite incredible. It really is. That takes a lot of conditioning in training, which she clearly has done. Yeah, I just really hope if this was a world record, if she went 0.1 quicker or 0.2 quicker, I think the world record is, then this probably would have been number 1. That's the 100%. Difference we're dealing with here. So if she went 0.2 quicker, she would have gone from third in our list to first, which would have been insane. And it will go. She will hit this world record at some point.
Maybe this should be higher. Maybe. Let's get into second place, and then we're not going to change this list. Maybe people will disagree in the comment section below. There's a reason number 2 is number 2.
Yeah.
Women's 800 meters freestyle. The battle that was billed as Ledecky against McIntosh grew as the race went on between McIntosh, Ledecky, and Lanny Pallister. Lanny Pallister actually pushed the great Katie Ledecky all the way to the finish line. Yes, you could say the time isn't a world record or anything like that, but it's still some of the top like 5, 6, 7 swims of all time in the 800 meters freestyle. The reason it's so high, the head-to-head, the race, the spectacle, it isn't so much about the time, but I was off my seat I have not been this excited for a race in a very, very, very long time. As a biased Brit, maybe even since Tokyo 200 meters freestyle.
Yes.
Maybe that sort of levels of excitement, because we knew, we didn't know Lani Pallister would be in this fight, but we knew this was, if there was ever going to be a chance of Katie Ledecky being dethroned, this was potentially it. And then she came out all swings, all guns blaring, and doesn't get beaten, and kind of reaffirms she is one of, if not the greatest swimmer of all time. Definitely the greatest freestyler, definitely the greatest female swimmer. Then it's a debate between her and Phelps, which will come later this summer. I can tell you now, that will come later this summer.
That will be another podcast. And that might be a while, actually, because I'm sure there will be a few comments. People's like, how can you say it's Ledecky when it should be Phelps? Or how can you say it's Phelps when it should be Ledecky?
She just won 7 in a row in this event.
Yeah, and 23 overall world medals, world gold, I think, world champion. So, yeah, she's a fantastic swimmer. And like you say, this was the best chance so far for McIntosh to get the better of Ledecky. But then it's Pallister. This is not what I was expecting. I was expecting just a head-to-head, a straight head-to-head between Ledecky and McIntosh. But Pallister made this race even better, because I thought she would have faded after 400-500 meters. But she was there. She was actually at some points really challenging for the lead. But Ledecky, being the aggressor, if you like, she's always at the front of every race that she's in when it comes to these distance events anyway. She just would not let her pass. She was exhausted at the end. I've never seen Ledecky like that. Because I think I said when we broke it down that the physical output, obviously, in the race. And then the mental toll of the build-up for the race, because I think there was a lot of talk of Summer saying this could be your moment to try and beat Ledecky. And of course, Ledecky's won this so many times, got the world record. This is her event. This is one that she started on. And there's talk of Summer beating you. She's having none of it. And really cements her greatness. Yes. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this race develops, because of course Summer McIntosh is only 18, Lani Pallister only 23, I think, and then Ledecky's still got another 3 years left at least, because she wants to go to LA. This is going to be a massive race in LA if it's these 3 summers keep going. It's going to be awesome.
Katie Ledecky must be sick of Dean Boxall swimmers, because obviously she got bested by Ariane Titmus in the 400 free, because she had her way in that for so long, and Titmus came along and did Titmus things, and now we've seen what Summer's done in the 4 free, and now Lani Pallister obviously is another Dean Boxall swimmer. So you're just there like, oh, for Christ's sake, got to keep fending off these Aussies. The 8 free is the one she will not give up, in my opinion. There's no, there's a chance she'll get beaten. There is a chance now. But if you're going into next major competition and questioning where Katie Ledecky's target is it a world record in the 1500? Is it winning the 4 free? It's the 8 free. It will always be the 8 free now. And looking at this rivalry, this triple-headed monster, because I don't think McIntosh is going to drop this in a hurry.
No, I don't think so. No. And there could be other swimmers to join this group. Quadrella had an amazing 1500. Maybe she can come down a little bit more to the 800 and challenge that as well. So there are a group of girls here that could really challenge Ledecky's throne, if you like. But this really was, the build-up for this race was insane, and it absolutely delivered.
Do you know what? If we titled this list Best Race, race or head-to-head or whatever of the World Championships, this would be number 1.
Yes.
But best swim of the meet, there's only one person who can take this crown. Léon Marchand, men's 200 meters individual medley. How on earth do you put a body length and more into Ryan Lochte's the first ever world record to break a super suit? Previous marks stood at a 154.0, and he's gone a 152, which, by the way, that's a freestyle time, Dan. That's really a freestyle time.
Yeah. We talk about Milak in the 200 fly saying he's hitting freestyle times going a 150, but this really is, that is a freestyle time. Like a 152, which includes a length of breaststroke. Mental. Like, I've struggled for words on the day of what he's actually just done. I'm going to struggle again here because I just don't know. He's superhuman. The fly leg is incredible. The backstroke leg is improved. The breaststroke is the breaststroke. And the last turn, it absolutely kills people. I don't know how he does it. He does it in the 400 diamond as well. But Bob Bowman is an absolute genius. And he's got this world record of 152. And I don't know if anyone's getting close to that. I mean, the rest of the world are at your 140, or 154s, 155s. So he's now 2 seconds clear of the rest of the world. Shane Cassis gave him a really good go in the final. I mean, he didn't quite hit the world record in the final, but that semi-final swim was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure his world record swim would have placed him first in the 200 if he was racing 200 backstrokers, first in the 200 backstroke, second or third in the 200 butterfly. It's
madness. It is.
Yeah, it is.
Madness.
It is. It's do I say this? It's getting on to Summer McIntosh levels of IM swimming.
Oh,
but actually I think they're about the same.
You've opened a can of worms there.
I probably
what are you talking about?
Look, it's not just that he's broken a Lochte record. Like, Phelps is nowhere near him, and Phelps was I know Lochte had the world record. Phelps was the greatest IM swimmer of all. Was the greatest IM swimmer of all time for me. Léon Marchand has gone past that. Gone well past that. He's bettered his mark in the 400 meters individual medley, the 200 meters individual medley. Phelps is in the rearview mirror by quite a long way now. So's Lochte. Does this ever get faster? Like, our number one swim of these World Championships isn't even a final. It's a semi-final swim. So had he have swam this in the final, could get better.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Can't get better than number one, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, can he take this record lower? I mean, it's still probably too raw to be talking about these sort of things because we've gone through the splits in a previous podcast and gone, sorry, what?
Yeah,
what
I mean,
earth?
he did. I think it was the breaststroke into freestyle turn wasn't absolutely bang on. So theoretically, if he did the exact same swim but fixed that turn, maybe he could have a couple of hundredths, maybe a tenth quicker. Because I can't see based on
maybe the
splits
freestyle,
wise.
maybe the freestyle. But
we've said that before. Yeah. We've said that on the 400 IM when he went at 4:02. That's really the only area because I think the last 50 was a second slower than the second 50 of the the first 50 of the freestyle. So yeah, you can nitpick as much as you want, but of course then he's got to then save some on the earlier legs to then save some for the freestyle. So it's all about balance, isn't it? But yeah, ultimately he will know how to go quicker, or Bob Bowman does. I don't know what he has some sort of extraterrestrial knowledge that some other people or most other people don't have because he's producing these IM swimmers like Phelps, like Marchand. It's honestly insane.
Soon to be summer.
Yeah, soon to be summer, which is scary for the rest of the world,
Really
especially when Summer's doing what she's doing already.
More scary, maybe, for World Aquatics and their prize pool and how much they're going to have to be handing out for world records. 30 grand per world record. The Bob Bowman stable could have quite a big chunk of World Aquatics budget in their pocket over the next few years. So. Absolutely. Okay, that just about rounds up our top 10 swims, races, whatever, of the World Swimming Championships 2025. Let us know in the comment section on YouTube if you agree, disagree, put your own 10. I highly doubt every single commenter in the comment section is going to agree with our 10. Their personal preference. They're what we enjoyed the most this week. What got us the most excited throughout the whole week of racing. It was a fantastically fast World Championships of racing. We've spoken to so many coaches around poolsides over the past, even just few days. And they've gone, well, actually, to make a final, you're podiuming in Paris. The world's moved on, especially when the pressure of an Olympics is released, and you can actually see what the world of swimming can really do. It's been a really special week. We've got more podcasts coming out speaking about it. We're going to go through top 10 swimmers. Maybe we'll do a Brit review, but that's kind of question marks until we know a little bit more about what's gone on with the British camp. We'll see if we do something like that. But if you have enjoyed this, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And until our next bonus podcast from Propulsion Swimming, we'll see you very, very soon.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll catch you on the next one.
You've been listening to the Propulsion Swimming Podcast with Scott and Dan. We want to thank you for joining us and invite you to subscribe to the show, as well as checking out the Propulsion Swimming YouTube channel for weekly tutorials and videos to get your swimming fix. We will be back next week. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one.